Alright, so today I'm going to give you 5 more tips for solo queuing in Rainbow Six Siege. I'm going to go through different topics than I talked about in the first one, so if you haven't seen the first one, I'll leave a link in the description that you can watch after this if you want to. In this video I'm going to talk about things like how you can improve as a player and things you can do in your games that will make you win more rounds, so that you'll be able to win more games solo queuing, because every round counts in ranked, especially where you only have to win 4 rounds to win a game if you don't go overtime. Every round counts. So the first tip I'm going to give you is to learn from your own mistakes. Now, how do you do this? There's 2 ways you can learn from your own mistake. The first way is to VOD review. Now this is more for like the people that are like more serious about it and more trying to get champ, because it's a bit more longer, it's a longer process to do. You have to like record your game, go back after it and watch it again. But this is the best way to do it. There is another way which I'll tell you afterwards, but watching your own VODs is an insane way to like improve at the game, because you'll realise things. Like there's sometimes where I'll watch my own gameplay back and I'm realising that my crosshairs like going a bit down. So I know that in the next time I play after I've watched that VOD review, after I've done that VOD review, I know I need to keep my crosshair up. Stuff like that to keep my crosshair head level. But you'll also learn about things like where you tend to make mistakes. Like let's say I push an angle consistently. If I consistently push this angle, like let's say I'm defending and I'm holding fountain, I know they're pushing CC, so I constantly tend to push like for the flank, and I keep dying doing it. You'll realise stuff like that from doing VOD reviews. If you do VOD reviews over like a long period of time, you get like a bigger picture of how you are as a player that you don't really realise, like things you're doing subconsciously. So just like it helps you improve at these little things like that, and it makes you more well-rounded as a player. Now, if you don't have the time to do VOD reviews, and you don't really want to do VOD reviews, the other way you can do this is simply by, after every single death, understanding how you died, and do it with like a clear head, not like an ego head of like, oh that I just got unlucky there, I just got like, oh well he just swung me, I just died because he swung me. But in reality, if you like went with a clear head, you'll be like, oh well I was just stood in a random position out in the open, so it's obviously I'm just going to get shot, like I'm just going to get swung and shot. And then you'll think, okay, well now I need to like think about my positioning more. Could I play maybe on site instead and hold like an off angle here, or can I play like a little rat angle over here rather than just standing in the middle of the room? Like if you think about it with like a clear head, and then actually implement the things that you're thinking about as well. So like let's say you died standing here as a defender holding this, someone's just swung you and killed you. Now you know not to hold the same angle the same way. So what you can do is you can either hold it a bit more off, or you can like change your level that you're holding it from by crouching or proning, or you can like change your level by like standing up on top of something. Standing up on top of things is a really great way to like get unexpected, like to surprise people, because people, because you can't jump and siege, people only aim head level at the highest. They don't really aim any higher unless they've got bad crosshair placement. So at that point, if you're vaulted up on top of something, they're gonna like not be aiming for you unless they know about this angle already. So unless you've been droned or something. So if you like realize from your VOD review, like okay, well, if you realize from like you just keep dying in this position by like, and then you watch the kill cam and you realize, oh, they're just shooting you because of like you're just standing out in the open, then you can change your positioning up, stuff like that. The second tip is communication. What I do when I'm solo queuing is I tend to mute my teammates, because I know that I don't trust their call outs. Now that might not be a good thing for you to do, because like what I know for me, that I know my sound better than I know my teammates know their sound. So if you're not as confident like that, then you don't have to do this. But what I'll do is I'll mute my teammates, but I'll still give call outs, because if you mute your teammates, they can still hear you talking. So you can give call outs still, give all the information, try and coordinate plays with your teammates even though they're muted, or just don't mute them. But I like to mute them because they never bring anything good to the team, like vocal wise, so I just get rid of them, like, so I don't have to deal with it. And then but I still communicate with them. Communication is a really big aspect of Siege. Like why do you think people like stack so much win games? Because they communicate with each other, they have plays with each other, they make plays with each other, they make strats with each other, they attack together, they push together, they defend, they hold crossfires. If you can coordinate crossfires with your randoms, even if you've got them muted, you can just say like, yo, can you hold this door while I hold that door, or yo, let's hold a crossfire on this door, you play on the right and they're left, they're right, you play there and I play here, and then when you shoot I'll swing off your contact. You can say like that to your teammates, and then you've like kind of communicating with your teammates more than you would be anyways, like rather than just hoping that everybody wins their one gunfight to get the round win. You can make the round win easier by communicating. The third tip is to refrag your teammates. Now this goes both for attacking and defending. You want to play, it's a little bit it goes into communication as well, because you want to play close to your teammates, so where that if they get swung and die, you can swing off them and like refrag them. So let's say you have a teammate playing like on the triple wall here, somebody swings in for the double and kills him. You need to play in a position like here where you can swing out and refrag them, if that makes sense. That's what refragging is. Like so your teammate dies, you get the refrag, but that's not the same as baiting. You don't want to just like sit here waiting until he dies to swing. I mean, if he dies, you swing, but if you know he's coming in, you swing as well, because then you have the double peek, you have the crossfire, rather than waiting for him to die then swinging. I mean, you will get the kill by that, but it's like an ego toxic way to play. Now, there is a time and a place to bait, but that like not every single round is not the time and the place to bait. You know what I mean? Now, the fourth topic I want to go over is entry kills. Now, this goes more for people that aren't. This goes more for people that aren't like support players or hard breachers, because you don't want to die first on a hard breach. But if you play the game of ranked, getting the entry pick is one of the most important things you can do. Honestly, it's up there with getting the walls open, like getting the opener pick with how important it is. I remember like the last sort of competitive team I was playing on, like opening kills was one of the things that we really struggled with, and we realised that it was a lot to do with like we realised how big the impact of, well, or at least I realised how big the impact of losing the opening pick meant on the rest of the round, like how we lost the majority of the rounds after that. So you need to like be on top of getting the opening kills and get the opening picks to turn the tide into your favour. And the best way to do this is, I mean, there's one you can spawn peek if you want to, but it's a bit more risky obviously, and you have to hit your shots. Or you can kind of like start by playing a bit more aggressive. Like let's say you think they're going to come for officers because they've shot the outside cam, you can kind of push up here and play close on the window, and then wait for somebody to jump in and swing them, kind of thing like that. Or just play, basically you want to play aggressive as a defender and an attacker as well, to get into the building. As an attacker you want to get into the building and get the first pick on the round, and as a defender you just want to like stop the attackers from pushing into the building and get the first pick on the round if you can. But you don't want to die doing this, because obviously, I mean, dying doing it puts your team at the disadvantage that you're trying to gain for your team, if that makes sense. But what I tend to find out is that if I don't go for the opening pick myself, my teammates will try and do it, and they have a lot worse of a success rate than I do, it feels like. Which, I mean, it's kind of a little bit of a toxic mentality to have, but when you're solo queuing, your teammates are probably robots, so you don't want to give them any sort of chance to fuck up. You want to be the one that's trying to make things happen. Now, the fifth and final tip is to watch cameras. Like, how many times have you died because your teammates weren't watching your cameras? Do you know how frustrating it is? Yes, probably yes anyway. Now, why would you not do the same thing for your teammates? Right, I get it's boring, I get you playing ranked, I get that it's just not fun to do, but you need to watch cameras when you're dead. If you're on attack, especially on attack, I see a lot of people on attack don't even watch cams at all. Now, generally, there might not be cams that are helpful to watch, but if you get flanked because you're not watching a flank cam, and your teammates know that there's a flank cam there and they die because of it, their mental's gonna be choked for the rest of the game. They're gonna be like raging with you for the rest of the game because you weren't watching the flank cam. Now, if you have like 5 drones outside of the map like this and there's no helpful drones to watch, obviously you don't need to watch cams at that point. But if there's flank cams, make sure you're watching the flank cams, and make sure you're watching cams that are important to the push. So let's say we're pushing CT, I need an east stairs flank cam to make sure nobody flanks up east and comes on the balcony, if that makes sense. So I need to watch the flank cam there. But it also means that if we're pushing in through detention down here, I don't realistically need to watch a camera that's fucking in tellers. Do you know what I mean? Because we're not going to get to that bit yet. We're like sort of watch cameras that are close to your push. And it also means that even when you're dead, you can have an impact on the round, because you can sort of like have the top-down view of a camera where you can sort of like do a little bit of IGL, if you want to, where you can say like, yo, there's one guy here alone, he's alone, just go and push him. Like, get 2 people to go and push him if you can, like try and communicate with your teammates like that. Or you can also be like, right, well, and you just have the info to be able to give to your teammates, because you like, realistically, you want to give the teammates the best chance they have to succeed as well. And to do this, watching cams to do this is just the easiest way to do that, if that makes sense. Alright, so that's it for this video. If you enjoyed, drop a like and a sub, and I'll see you in the next video.